MRN Crew Call on MRN.com is presented by MoneyLion, the world's most powerful financial membership. MoneyLion, here we roar. And also brought to you by Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength.
Hello and welcome to MRN Crew Call presented by MoneyLion. I'm your host, Rocko Williams, and I'm dominating this Wednesday. I'm dominating just like these three individuals dominated at Richmond for Joe Gibbs Racing at the Federated Auto Parts 400 at Richmond. Your boys did the damn thing. I'm here with Josh. What's your last name, Josh?
Josh.
Oh. You know what? We all are starting to look alike now that we're hanging. Houston Stamper, Joshua Shipplett, and my man Hicks, Michael Hicks, that is. You know, let me tell you something before we even get started. This was my toughest competition, you know, when it came to swagged out drippiness at the racetrack. You know, you stayed fresh, man, but thank you for taking the time to be on our show, guys. How are y'all feeling today?
Good.
You know, fresh off of a Saturday, you had Sunday to regroup, man. I mean, what a great race at Richmond, you know, not to mention the fact that that was my first time actually being there and seeing all the modifications and the upgrades to that infield, man, and it was pretty impressive, you know. It was a bit of a labyrinth trying to find my way to pit road, but other than that, man, it was a good night, wouldn't you say?
They made it challenging over there for sure.
They did. But anyways, look, these guys are representing Joe Gibbs Racing. They dominated the race. They're not only just representing Joe Gibbs, they're representing the number 11 and the number 20. Driven by Eric Jones. And the thing was, what's unique about this trio here, Mike, you were a part of the 11 car for so many years, multiple years, 10 years, right?
Yep, long time.
At least. And then Joe Gibbs, they decided to shake things up, you know, and switch guys around internally to produce a better performance, right? Yep. Or just to see how that would. Why do they do that?
I mean, I can't give you an exact reason why.
So it wasn't you saying, "Hey, I'm up out of here."
No, not at all. No, not at all. But I mean, they just thought I would work better maybe with a different group of people, and decided to make a change and revamp the new pit stop department.
Exactly. I mean, making that change, though, you're working with the likes of Ernie Pierce and Kevin Harris and Dustin Case. You know, those are some pretty good guys as well. And, you know, that's not just with you as well. You guys came from other teams as well. Could you tell us a little bit about what teams you're on now and what teams you're on currently, the short version?
Yeah, so I originally started at Roush Fenway Racing. That's where I was developed. And I kind of moved on from there. And actually, when I graduated engineering school, I was looking for an engineering job. And Roush at the time didn't have any engineering openings. So I went to RCR because they were willing to give me an engineering job as well as a spot on a cup car. So I did the 3 car when it came back, did that for 4 years, and then got on with Gibbs.
Pretty prestigious car, too, the 3, when it came back. You know, the 3 was always synonymous with Dale Jr., you're done, you know. So then when they bring that back, you know, that's got to be a pretty cool deal.
It was pretty cool, you know, to get going. And we had some rough patches here and there, but we actually ended up having a pretty solid pit crew there, which was always a lot of fun. So,
what about you?
Y'all did have a good crew that year.
Yeah.
I was at Roush.
Yeah.
I was at Roush for 10 years before I came to JGR. That's basically where I got my start.
Shouts out to Roush Fenway.
Yeah. They taught me how to do everything over there, and basically just worked my way up. You know, from Xfinity cars to Cup cars to getting a shot to come over here.
Well, I'm pretty sure that you're liking where you are now. You guys are doing everything, you know, everything right, it seems. You know, you're in the midst of these playoffs. And I alluded to the fact that, you know, there were a lot of upgrades at that track at Richmond, and the vibe out there was electric. It felt good. You know, early on in the day, you know, it seemed a bit lackadaisical, but when the lights went out, you know, when it got dark and the lights came on,
a lot of fans.
You could feel that energy in the fans. Let's take a look from the slaw cam. As you know, I was out there, and y'all saw me out there running that camera. Let's look at it from the slaw cam eyes of Richmond International, Richmond Raceway Complex.
What's up, Hollywood? Are you in? Damn. We'll try to contain him out here at Richmond Race, man. We'll try. Don't let this affect your performance today, all right? You hear me? This is not an excuse to hit extra lug nuts.
Thank you.
came off vacation. Show was third
Oh, was it?
when it came out.
I give the people what they want.
Give them what they
That's
want.
the baby blue eyes.
She's the best.
Yeah, Darnett. You know, she rode me out
She's
to the
awesome.
sunset, and I have so many cavities owed to her
Yeah.
with all the candy
All the
that she
candy.
gives me.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
We love Darnett. So as you can see, you know, Richmond, can y'all agree with me? The vibe of there was
Oh, yeah.
kind of electric when you walked in, and you know, coming off your plane. Did y'all get their race day? Did you do the Xfinity race, or?
Yeah,
Yep.
we did the Xfinity
We all did the
race.
Xfinity race. Yeah.
So everybody did the Xfinity race, and not only is Gibbs dominating in the Premier Series, but then they win the Xfinity Series with their young driver Christopher Bell. Who was on that crew? Anybody on that crew here? Who does
No.
that car?
Not this one. It's
The
usually the
18
18 Cup car.
18 Cup did, yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
by design, or is it like they just draw names out the hat for which Xfinity crew? Or
This
just-
year we did it a little different. Like when at the beginning of the season, they wanted full Cup teams to pit these cars from start to finish, and so that's basically how we decided to do it this year.
They committed as a
And
group.
They committed
To do a
very
full
early
season.
to do it, and
Where the Diva crew members, they were allowed to give you 3 or 4 of them, or I'll give you this one.
Yeah.
I'm not giving you that one, you know, and then
Yeah.
and then some will be at Levine next year, right?
Yep.
That's
That's for
right.
sure.
I know that's right. Hey, we got the 3 trio from Joe Gibbs, the dynamic trio. You know, we're coming up with a band name a little later on, but stick around. We'll be back with more from MRN Crew Call and these 3 gentlemen.
What's up? Vaughn Gittin Jr. here. How would you like the keys to a 700 horsepower custom-built Ford Mustang RTR designed by none other than NASCAR champ Joey Logano, the RTR design team, and me? It's one of 3 Mustangs you could win in the MoneyLion Here We Roar sweepstakes. How do you enter? Just text ROAR to 95615 or visit roarsweepstakes.moneylion.com.
No purchase necessary. Instant 2019. Must be 18 or older. For official sweepstake rules, visit roarsweepstakes.moneylion.com.
At the Goddard School, teachers customize lessons so children can explore their interests, have fun, and learn the skills they need for success in school and beyond. From infant sign language to pre-K students tackling STEAM learning, our Flex Learning Program or Fun Learning Experience is grounded in research that shows the most genuine learning occurs when children are having fun. Our teachers leverage this through lessons inspired by children's imaginations. To enroll, visit GoddardSchool.com. The Goddard School, learning for fun, learning for life.
Jeff Gordon has come from virtually nowhere.
He's one of NASCAR's all-time greats.
For the 93rd time in his career.
A pioneering champion.
Be at the right place at the right time.
The kid who took on the good old boys and changed NASCAR.
We started to go toe-to-toe from Earnhardt.
MRN presents a 10-part podcast series that traces Jeff Gordon's rise to NASCAR legend. Jeff Gordon, the colorful career of the Rainbow Warrior. Available now at MRN.com and your favorite podcast source.
And there you have the wall being painted pink in preparation for the ROVAL this weekend in Charlotte. You know, Breast Cancer Awareness Week, and they do a beautiful job of painting that wall pink and, you know, showing and paying tribute to all of those who are struggling and who have overcome, you know, with that breast cancer awareness. Very important. Are y'all doing anything to bling yourselves out or to pink yourselves out for this weekend at the Charlotte ROVAL?
no, I mean I might grip tape my gun pink. I just happened to found that up in the shop last week. I was like, oh my, I could use this at Charlotte.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
That was like a spontaneous thing.
I used to like to spat my shoes up, and
Yeah.
or I'll
Yeah.
do my belt buckle, you know,
Oh,
just
yeah.
the belt straps with pink. Or
Maybe do some pink shoelaces. Might have to
right.
work on that.
I'll talk with you. You
Pink
know,
band.
we can come up with something, Mike.
Yeah, we'll have to work on that.
We got to make you pinkalicious out there now.
That's right.
Oh,
That's right.
I'm sure you got something up your sleeve.
I'll rock it.
Oh,
I'll rock
yeah.
it.
Pinkalicious.
Hey, getting back to it, guys, you know, we're all veterans in our sport, and we know we can't do pit stops forever, you know, and then all of us has worked in the shop at some point. Let's go down the line and just want to start with you, Houston, you know, of how you got your start. Are you a racer at heart? Is your family involved? Or what caught your eye about NASCAR from the first start to even get you involved?
Yeah, so I'm a local kid, so basically every male in my family is in some form of fashion of racing, working for a race team or mainly building race cars. So That's actually how I got hired at Roush. The beginning was to learn how to do pit stops, but actually build race cars too. So I started in finish fab at a very young age.
How did you even get that consideration to Roush from what you were doing?
My brother was working there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so family, I had family all over the sport, and I don't know why I chose Roush. I think just because I had probably a close relationship with my brother.
Well, you had an in, first of all.
So I think it'd be cool to work with him, and that team that offered me that deal to come with them was Robbie Reiser and Matt Kenseth, which I've known them since I was like 8 years old, like growing up around their little shop. So I was like, yeah, this is legit.
Were you a racer as well? Did you even dabble in racing at all?
No, I was a sports kid.
Okay.
Played football and baseball. And I mean, my whole Thanksgiving, Christmas, that was the topic of conversation, was who was winning, who was losing, racing, building cars, what you doing over there, body hanging, all that stuff. And I was just like,
but you mentioned a story that doesn't sound familiar, because you said you beat Antonio Brown in a race.
That's not true.
That's not true. You said you smoked him.
We know he was lying.
That's not true. That was my eye opening. Like, oh, okay, this is how good you got to be to play sports. Like,
so Antonio Brown went to the JUCO you were playing at, right?
Yeah, it was a one little semester deal. It only lasted 2 years. It was a place called NC Tech, and this kid Antonio Brown was on the team, and I was like, oh yeah, just another. We're playing football, And
how big was he then?
Dude, he was tiny. He was tiny, but I mean, this kid's 2 years younger than me, and I mean, he's running circles around everybody. And I'm like, yeah, this is. And we had another kid who went to the Texans, and I was like, yeah, this is how good you got to be. Like,
from what I heard, he's going back to school.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. So I mean, it was enjoyable.
Messed up my fantasy league too.
Yeah, he did. A lot of people's fantasy league.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, I enjoy building race cars, like outside of pitting cars. Like, it's one of the things I do enjoy doing.
And let me ask you this: you know how you can be a great tire carrier, a great tire changer? Can you be a great car builder? Was there something that you can do to separate yourself from other car builders or chassis builders or finish fabs or whatever the case may be?
It's getting harder and harder to do that.
Okay.
As the way the sport progresses, it's hard, because you're not really. I mean, I'm a fabricator, and literally what I learned the first 5 years in this sport to what I do now, like, I hardly use any of those skills, like, because we streamline everything. Every race team. I mean, it's as fast as you can build it, but quality's still got to be there. So, I mean, as long as you got to have a great attitude, and you show up, and you just lean back on the things that you've learned over the last 14 years you've been doing this. Those little things like that will keep you a job.
Oh, so what about you, Shipplett? I mean, I know you're a mechanical engineer.
Yep.
And did you have an affinity to building race cars or working with the cars, or how did that come about?
So I actually grew up from a local dirt track growing up, and we used to go there every Saturday night.
What's the local dirt track?
Winder Barrow Speedway.
Winder Barrow Speedway. Come on, shout them out.
And you go there to watch a fight and hope a race broke out, and sit in the back of the truck, watch the race. Have
That's
a good
like
time.
our Bowman Gray.
Yeah, exactly. And played baseball all my life growing up, and always went to NASCAR races and things like that, and saw people doing the pit stops. But always being an athlete, I always wanted to compete. I thought that'd be really cool. And there was actually a little community college near where I grew up, Lanier Technical College, and they had a motorsports program. So I went there, and just to get a 2-year little technical degree, came up here. They sent me up here to intern and stuff, and never went home.
The intern where?
Actually, we did the Richard Pay driving experience.
Okay.
Yeah, so they put us up in a house with 5 guys, paid us $200 a week, and we just had to work.
That's trouble.
Oh, it was a lot of trouble.
That $200 a week, man, that sounds familiar. Yeah. That's what I got paid my first gig learning how to do pit stop. Yeah. Like, hey, $200 a week, go learn.
Sign me up.
It was definitely an experience, but I got up here and actually went to the pit crew school, and that's where I first started. And then
which pit crew school?
Pit Crew U.
Pit Crew U. Shouts out to Pit Crew U. They do an awesome job as well.
I owe it to them, I guess. I mean, that was my first place. So, and then I actually got on with Roush. So my buddy Eric Wallace. He went to the Lanier Technical College with me.
Still at Roush.
Yep. And he introduced me to some people at Roush and got me in the door. And so I started developing there. Yeah.
I love Wallace.
Yeah, you should have been in a house with 4 other guys with him. And so they
well, you don't tell us any of those stories, okay?
We'll just keep that off the air.
Because what they wanted to do, they wanted to have a crew call in. and they wanted to call in and blast you with all the embarrassing stories from that house.
Oh, we should have.
So I didn't want to do that on the first show.
Oof.
Maybe when we get closer towards the end of the season, we'll talk about some of those house exploits.
I'm betting Eric has more embarrassing stories than I do. Let's put it that way. So anyway, I worked at Roush for a little while and decided that I wanted to go back to engineering school. And so I went to UNC Charlotte, got my engineering degree, and when I graduated, there wasn't a spot available for me at Roush for engineering. And since I just went to school for that, I really wanted to pursue it. So I actually ended up getting on at RCR and worked in the engineering department over there and pitted the 3-car for a while, and then had an opportunity to move a little closer to home at Gibbs and do engineering there too. So
look at you now.
Here I am. Here I am, still carrying tires.
Famous.
Big time.
Famous.
Carrying tires, in 11, you're doing it at a high level. Everybody at Gibbs is doing it at a high level. There's so many expectations there, which brings us to you, Mike. You started off on 11. No, you started off at with the Wood Brothers. You're at the 11. I've seen your Instagram. I've seen you work on your cars. It's safe to say that you have racing in your blood, right?
I mean, I've been around.
Or just cars?
Probably just cars.
Okay, because I've seen some of your toys, man, and
yeah, I got a lot of toys. But yeah, I mean, I've always been around cars my whole life. My dad's always built cars. He worked for a race team for a long time, so I've always been around it.
So how'd you get to the Wood Brothers, though?
Well, I was on a truck, and I was just, changing tires on the side and being a mechanic at Greenlight Racing. And, it was, the road crew kind of pitted it. That's kind of how they were. And I was like, I think I can do that. So out back, I would, tap lug nuts hit, and then I got put on that truck. And that's whenever JTG and Wood Brothers were joining. They had this huge tryout. And I went out there, and they came up to me after the trial. They're like, "Hey, man, we want to hire you. We don't really have a spot for you, but we want you to do the pit stop stuff." And I was like, at the time, I'd take whatever I could get. So that's what I did. I started working there, and then the guy ended up going down on one of their trucks, and I got put in. And then it kind of went from there. My career started to escalate from that point.
Started to ball out. You balled out at Wood Brothers.
Yep.
Then JTG, I should say, the merger.
Yep.
How did you get to Gibbs?
Al Shuford and Michael Lepp came up to me at a truck race and like, "Hey, man, we're really interested in you. You want to come try out at Gibbs?" And I'm like, "Sure." So I went. And
That's how you did it? You're like, "Sure."
I was like, "Sure." When do you want me to come over? Tomorrow?
I'll
Sure.
come right now.
Yeah, I'll come right now. So I went over there, and the tryout went well. So then I went to. They wanted to hire me, offered me a contract, and then I went to Eddie Wood at the time. And I said, "Hey, man," I said, "this is what's been offered to me. I want your advice. Should I stay here another year or should I go?"
Eddie Wood.
Yep. And he goes, "I want you to go. He goes, that's a good opportunity for you." So I told them I was leaving, and that's kind of where I took off from there at JGR.
That's awesome stories. It's funny how the stories are so similar for all of our crew members. And keep in mind, we love playing with our tires, right? Hercules Tires is giving away a free set of tires each and every month. All you have to do is go to HerculesTire.com/MRN.com and register for your chance to win a set of Hercules tires from HerculesTires.com. And we'll be back with more from this trio, and we're going to delve a little bit more into these guys when we get back.
Here's your chance to win a set of your very own Hercules tires. Go to HerculesTires.com/MRN. Simply register, and each month we'll give away one set of tires. Hercules Tires has the value, selection, and industry-leading mileage coverage to get you wherever you need to go, no matter where the road takes you. Register now for your chance to win a set of Hercules tires at HerculesTires.com/MRN. Hercules Tires. Ride on our street.
Just when you thought the biggest, baddest track in NASCAR couldn't get any better, we broke ground on Transformation, the Talladega Superspeedway infield project to enhance the fan experience. Check it out this October, if you're big and bad enough.
Hey guys, it's Dylan Welch. He's Tyler Burnett. We're the co-hosts of the Rip the Fence podcast. If you like traditional non-wing dirt track racing, we've got the podcast for you.
Shane Meal trying to drive away.
I can't do everything, but I could do anything and everything I wanted before I got injured. So
Just like many of the great podcasts going, we invite racers in to talk, and they tell us their life story.
And it's how I feel that matters.
It's the Rip the Fence podcast, available on MRN.com and your favorite podcast app.
Facebook and Twitter, MRN is there. Follow MRN on social media for all the latest happenings from the track and in NASCAR. Breaking news, video, photos, live races and shows, stats, opinion, and more. Follow along on MRN's Facebook and Twitter.
Getting Schooled is presented by the Goddard School, the best childhood preparation for social and academic success. Visit GoddardSchool.com for more information. The Goddard School, learning for fun, learning for life. And, you know, I have 4 little rug rats running around. So, you know, me and the Goddard School, we have a very, very good relationship.
Yeah. Yes.
All of my kids have gone there. You know, if you have
Nice.
kids yourself, you know.
Yep. Yeah, we do.
Oh, yeah.
You know how it is being away from them, you know, on the road and traveling as much in this traveling circuits that we're on. You know, we miss out on some stuff, you know, with our kids. But at the same time, I've always grown up around the type of parents where if you see me all the time, then I must not be working hard enough, to the point where, you know,
Gotcha.
I don't feel like my kids are going to be lazy because they see daddy working all the time. I'm sure the same can be said for you guys, right? Down the
No
line, how
doubt.
many kids do you have? Shout them out. Shout out the wifeys because I didn't have their pictures on here.
I got 4 kids as well.
4 kids?
Yeah.
What are their
we
names?
Millie. I got a Pearl, a Briggs, and a Hattie.
Oh, those some dope TV names right there. I like that.
Got some
Briggs
names.
and
Yeah, my wife's name's Emily.
okay.
Yeah.
Shout out
She
to
hold-
Emily.
She holds the fort down for us while I'm gone.
No, that's right.
Yeah, so, yeah, she's definitely the backbone of the family
Awesome.
while I'm gone.
Awesome. What about you?
I got 2 kids.
Mhm.
I got a Rylan and a Kinsley.
Okay.
My wife's name's Lindsay.
Okay. Shouts out to Lindsay. Good job.
And God save her for putting up with me. And my kids.
What about you, Mike?
I got Giselle and London.
Those
And
are good
my
names,
wife's
too.
name's Jordan.
Look at you, Giselle.
Yeah.
Okay, so she got to find her a Tom Brady.
I know, right? I hope so. That's what I need.
That's right.
Hey, with that being said, guys, you know what it takes for us to compete at a high level, and we do it every week. You know, there's a stark difference from pitting a car that does not have a chance to win. And then there's a difference in when you go to the racetrack, you know you have a chance to win every single week. Can you talk about a little bit of the way you prepare yourself mentally week after week, you know, because it's got to be a roller coaster, you know, because you're so geared up to win a race and you might wreck out, you might have a loose tire, whatever the case may be, then you come right back next week, win the race.
Yep.
What have y'all done that separates yourself, or you remember yourself when you didn't have a chance to win and now you have a chance to win anything? How do you evaluate that or handle that?
I think like during the race, I have a good feel of trying to not pay attention, really, other than what's immediately happening and what I
the
need
tunnel
to do.
vision and those blinders.
I think early in my career, I would get caught up in if we wrecked or something would happen, you'd kind of get a bad attitude about it, and it would affect you the rest of the day. Whereas now I try to just go into it not completely worried about where the car's running as much as what's going on as far as the pit stop pertains, and then try to treat everything exactly the same all the time, no matter. I mean, obviously, if you're leading, you kind of get, you get pumped up about it. But the last thing you need to do is when you're running bad and you need to fix the car, have a bad attitude, have bad pit stops. It just spirals out of control.
I mean, at the end of the day, we can only control what happens in the pit stall.
Yeah.
So you can't let, I mean, if they get in a wreck or, they get to complaining on the radio.
If they don't pass tech.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that too. You can't, I mean, at the end of the day, you still got to do your job when the car comes in the pit stall. So, I mean, you can't let all the other side stuff affect what you got going on.
It's funny that you say that because you say you can't, but I don't understand how you do. Because being as a crew member, SHI rolls downhill, and we're the first ones to catch it, right?
Yeah.
So when you're not winning a race, let's look at Denny Hamlin last year with the 11 car. Let's talk about that, Mike.
I was a part of that.
Maybe that's a reason why you got moved, because Denny didn't win. I mean, this is just my opinion looking at it, but here's my thought process. When I saw that switch happen, I'm like, okay, the 11 car has been one of the fastest pit crews since I can remember. You know, and of course y'all had those guns for a change, which made bathroom attendants look like superstars.
Don't downplay Nate Bolin.
Yeah.
We had Nate Bolin.
Well, first of all, y'all did. Nate Bolin is a left-hand jack, man. Shouts out to Nate Bolin. Wake Forest Demon Deacon, you know, alumni. Me and Nate played football together at Wake, and he was a beast. So you're right. Not only did you have Nate Bolin, a lot of people don't understand, you had a driver who, yes, he sped on pit road a lot, but he was inching every bit he could to get in that box and out of that box. So even if you had a 11.5, it would look like 11 flat with the driver who knows what he's doing, right? So that's when I saw them make that switch. I'm like, okay, so they're experimenting here because nothing was broke over there. It's just a matter of when you have too many toys, sometimes you like to play with them, you know, and it seems like Gibbs always had a plethora of toys to play with and with their athletes, you know.
That's one way to put it.
So let's just try to play around with these guys, you know, because, you know, Houston, I would say you remember not winning at a point, right?
No doubt.
So how does that feel now to go from, you know, going to the race, let's hope we're on the lead lap to let me not mess this up.
I pitted a lot of cars that were fighting for the lucky dog and lap downs a lot. And, like, you got to stay, you got to stay within yourself as far as just even finding motivation to get up for every pit stop, you know. But, yeah, it was really weird because I won 2 races, my first 5 races ever pitting in my career. I was like, this is easy.
Who were those?
They were Carl Edwards.
Carl Edwards.
And, you know, that was my first deal ever. I was like, okay, we need help. Like, you're going in, but it's only going to be for 1 race, which turned into 5 races. And I was like, oh, yeah.
And 2 wins.
Yeah. 20 years old, and I've already won 2 races. I can do this.
This is going to be
easy. Some guys go 20 years and don't even win a race.
Well, and then I never won again until I got to Gibbs. I mean, I was at Roush for 10 years and
so
never won another cup race. And I mean, I pitted, you know, I was on, some fairly decent cars, but we just hit a slump. And, you know, at that point, you're just, I don't want to say along for the ride, but you're doing your best not to be the problem at that point. You know, you don't want any, because, you know, y'all know as well as anyone, when things aren't going well, you know, it's easy to point the finger at the pit crew.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and now that I've been on both sides of it, you know, you go from winning races, it takes a toll on everybody.
Yes.
I mean,
winning races is hard.
Yeah.
Like, winning races is not fun. You know, it's not fun until afterwards.
Yep.
And you get to enjoy it and talk about it, right?
And then you go.
It's a stressful event during the race. I mean, you're.
And then you go from not winning, and then you really see who your teammates are. Because when you're not winning,
it's not that fun.
It's when stuff starts to separate.
Speaking of teammates and winning, let's take a look at your teammates. The 19 car, they won back-to-back races for the first time, and they won at Richmond, dominated at Richmond. They didn't dominate because I saw their teammate Kyle. I mean, it wasn't Kyle, it was Kevin. Who led the most laps there? I'm getting confused.
Probably Kyle.
It was Kyle. Yeah. Hawked Kyle down with 25 laps to go past him, and it was lights out. But here's his crew, interviewed after that race, and I'm pretty sure we can take little tidbits of what they say and relate to those as well. So let's look at what they had to say after their win in Richmond.
Checkered flag in the air, and Martin Truex Jr. wins at Richmond Raceway.
All right, we just swept Richmond for the year, and back-to-back victories for this 19 hot rod team. Freaking unbelievable, guys. Thank you.
This team is just unbelievable. We really seem to be able to turn it on when we need to, and I can't even imagine. We've never won back-to-back races before. We're just riding the wave, see how far it takes us.
It's a great feeling. I think going into the chase is really good momentum. Just hopefully we can keep doing it.
The leader is spun out. The leader is spun out.
Martin Truex Jr. spins in turn 4, smoke all around, people trying to get through.
My heart dropped a little bit, but once we seen where we was at, we knew we still had a chance at it. We just had to go out there and execute a good pit stop.
I think in the moment you're so focused on what's next, what your job is, and obviously, we get pictures of the car really quick. So there was no damage, so we try to go out there and lay one down, and that's all you can do, really.
Once was the leader. He's third, but now he wants second.
Great job. All clear there, bud.
Truex holds ahead by half a car length, trying to finish him off in turn 4.
Watching that was a little nerve-wracking. I was watching the laps count down. I was like, I don't know if we got enough time. And then you just picked up another gear. I'm like, okay, we might have something here. And then the nerves start kicking in. It's like, all right, I got to find something to do.
Truex looks wide out of turn number 4, trying to make the run on Busch.
Well, he did it that way. Truex on Denny Hamlin around the outside. This time, though, in one, he'll dive down to the inside.
Leader 19, get away from me now, baby.
They bump coming out of turn number 2.
I mean, you're racing teams in your own building, teams that we practice with each and every day, and it's tough, but it's fun at the same time because you know the competitors that you're racing, and it's fun. It's really fun.
Martin Truex Jr., his lead on Kyle Busch growing every single lap.
Back-to-back wins for Martin Truex Jr.
Glad we come out on top. I'm sure they're not excited, but it is what it is. It ebbs and flows every time.
I think we have a good chance at the ROVAL. I think going into that race, we'll let him do his job and hopefully don't screw it up for him.
Did you know that banks collected over $15 billion in unnecessary bank fees last year? Come on, enough is enough. It's time we took back control of our finances. That's why MoneyLion is proud to bring you the financial crew chief and to be a NASCAR sponsor. Look, no one knows more about hard work and pursuing their dreams than NASCAR fans, drivers, and teams. So we want to bring you the kind of banking that the big banks would never build, with features like zero-fee checking and zero-fee investment accounts. And because life is also meant for a join, with MoneyLion, NASCAR fans get even more. We're giving away 1,500 NASCAR tickets to our members this year. Plus, you can get 5% cash back on NASCAR tickets, at-track purchases, and all purchases at NASCAR.com. Learn more at MoneyLion.com or download our app. This is America's most powerful financial membership. MoneyLion. Here we roar.
Clutch Coffee Bar in Mooresville, North Carolina is redefining the drive-thru coffee game in Race City, USA. The Clutch experience is fast, friendly, and delicious. Quality drinks and unmatched customer service is the name of the game. Clutch Coffee Bar offers signature lattes and mochas, custom flavor-infused energy drinks, smoothies, and more. Over 25 flavors, there's something for everyone. Visit our 2 locations in Mooresville, 356 Williamson Road and 154 West Plaza Drive. Open daily from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. Power up today with Clutch Coffee Bar.
And it's time for my favorite part of the show, the Clutch Coffee Bar Clutch Performance Award winners go to no other than the mistreated bunch, the ones who got their win taken away, but you can't take away that performance y'all had. And you said it was all right, but still at the same time, y'all finished 4th. You balled out. You pitted the car in position. Shout out to your teammates. Dustin Nikes, Michael Hicks, Ernie Pierce, Kevin Harris, and Justin White from the number 20 Joe Gibbs Racing. You guys will be drinking coffee, energy drink, shakes, whatever you want on us.
I like it.
You know, y'all did the damn thing, man. And we alluded to this a little bit earlier, how SHI rolls downhill. You know, you don't win. The driver, you know, might not be getting the results that he wants, but we're the ones who feel the brunt of that, you know. And that's a perfect example of what happened this weekend. You know, the fact that they did not pass through OS doesn't mean that you guys did not go.
Yep.
Did not participate, did not compete. You did a good job. Congratulations on that. Sucks that happened.
Yep, it does.
Now you got to go win the ROVAL.
That's right. We got to turn it up and go try to get a W.
Let me ask y'all this. You know, we all know what our strengths and weaknesses are as crew members. How is your team conveying the vibe to you guys? Are they pressuring you guys to perform now the playoffs are here, or are they just kind of letting you guys handle it as veterans?
I think we don't really change much in the playoffs. Like what we got is working. It's more or less just, you know, just repeating the process, like just honing in on the small details at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I think anything that we got here, right?
Yeah.
So we've won 4 races. We've had a good year on pit road. If anybody should be changing anything, it's other teams trying to catch us. So we just got to keep doing the same thing we've been doing and refining it.
Yeah, you can't have that. You can't have that mentality of, I'm gonna reinvent the wheel with 10 races to go.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you just got to keep doing what you've been doing.
Look what you just said. You said you've won 4 races. And the 11, the 19 has won 6 races. Mm-hmm. The 18, how many races have they won?
4.
They've won 4 races.
And the 20's won 1.
And the 20 has won 1. So the point of the matter is you're a part of a team of winners. That's got to be a lot of pressure. Y'all are handling it very well. Can you just tell me real quick, what was one thing that you would like to see yourself do before Miami? as far as performance-wise?
I'd like to close the year out strong.
Mhm.
You know, make sure when the end of the year comes, they know the 20 was the real deal.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, P1 on pit road.
P1.
definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure on overall average.
Come in first, lead first.
Yeah.
Or
Like, especially-
maintain.
Yeah.
Give them a good reason to not move anything around.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, there you have it, guys. I mean, we have the number 20 and the number 11 from Joe Gibbs Racing representing, and these guys are the best of the best. All they do is win. And I know the 18, you know, they're the divas of Gibbs, you know, they're the divas, but it's real in here. You know, we're keeping it real in here. I appreciate you guys for joining us and representing so well.
Thank you very much.
I can't wait to see you on that
Gotta
pit
give a
wall.
shout out to Big TD's Fantasy Football League.
Oh, there it is. Shouts out to Big TDs.
That's right.
Yeah.
Big
I heard the
TDs.
newcomer Stitches is going to win that this year.
It ain't happening.
We'll see you next time.